I grew up around the Belleville area, and it just happened to be a day where I had a group of friends going out to watch a movie, and they all bailed out on me. And so I went to the clerk and I said, "Hey, what's the latest movie that's out right now?" And she said, "The Passion of the Christ." So I was like, cool. I had no idea. What I do know is when I left the movie theater, anytime I could hear the name of Jesus, it like shook me. Me and my family had a kind of a strained relationship at the time. I'm a teenager. I'm hanging out, I'm partying. They're trying to keep things together, keep me out of jail, keep me in school. There was a heightened tension where my father and I got in a fight, and things were really getting out of hand. And I remember looking up, and there was a cross right above my room. And I remember yelling like, "Jesus, where are you?" And I felt like honey drip from heaven. It was just like, I felt like peaceful in this moment when I cried out, and I had no idea what it was. And I got up. I remember just leaving the house, and I thought, I need to go to church. There was also a local group in the area called FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and they just were able to share the gospel and talk. And it was New Year's Day that I ended up having this wonderful encounter of my soccer coach ended up preaching the gospel. And I was able to hear it in its full understanding. And I remember thinking, this is it. I'm gonna follow Jesus. And so I ended up volunteering and pouring into my local church more. I ended up jumping in to this missions organization called YWAM, Youth with a Mission. And I got to take kids to Thailand, to Haiti, you name it, just to share the name of Jesus. And then my brother would remind me, you know what, Belleville needs help too. And so during my youth ministry time, the last 3 years, I unfortunately lost my brother. And that was really hard, being in ministry and losing someone that you love. And I was really struggling with, where do I go in life? Because Jesus has changed everything, and yet I lost the one I love the most. And I really could not move the picture of my brother telling me that Belleville needs help too. And I remember I thought for sure I'd be a missionary overseas, bro. I was thinking, not my hometown. Who's gonna, why would anyone want to stay in their hometown? And I just kept hearing it over and over again. And I just felt that pull of Belleville needs help too. Belleville needs help too. And I'm like, Belleville doesn't need me. But then I saw it. I could see in a different lens that the Lord was calling me for a time and a purpose. And I felt like I was called to plant in Belleville to reach people like my brother, to share the gospel, and to make disciples. I call it pockets of people. I'm pretty sure someone has taglined this somewhere, but I call it pockets of people. And so I met a guy named John Ryan, and he was part of the Acts 29 network, and he said, "Hey, let's start meeting and talking, and I'd love to see what this looks like." So as we're walking through Acts 29, we had this long assessment, so many questions we had to walk through, but it was good to examine my heart through all these questions. Am I called to ministry still? Is this still what the Lord has for me? I walked away feeling so encouraged. My wife and I were thinking this is amazing. So we did the assessment. We raised the money, we gathered the team, we cast vision for the church, and our heart is that we want to plant gospel-centered churches that share the good news of Jesus. We want to empower and equip and glorify, but also how do we hang out with people and be with people like my brother? And so this is what really drew me to stay in the restaurant industry and the service industry and loving and caring on people. And this has been a great way to be in the community. And so as the Birth of Living Hope, we've just kept that process of let's just be present. And so we've made it a point that we're present in the community and present in people's lives. So Easter 2022, we launched our church. And Acts 29 has helped us not only with the assessment, with the funding, but also to help propel that vision for our church. It helps me navigate through how this is going to go about, but then also financially coming beside us freed us up. We were able to get a trailer, we were able to get lighting, equipment, we were able to get all these things so that we can just jumpstart and do what we needed to do. And so we're going to continually help fund church planters as they go forth, because our heart and our vision is banked on that very thing. And we think that more churches should be planted because more people need hope. When I think of my brother and what he struggled with and what he was going through in life, I'm thinking there needs to be more places to call home for people that are hurting. There is a world that we live in that is lost and that is dying, and they need a fresh glimpse of hope. And I believe that the church can provide that. And I believe that more churches need to be planted so more hope can be expanded.